person that jumps in that baptistry and does this nonsense before I baptize him.
I mean, wow. What? Okay, I think this guy is Greg Locke, who is a independent fundamentalist Baptist or something. Crazy guy in America, often quite outspoken and vocal about things he probably shouldn't be. But really, getting mad about people making the sign of the cross, I mean, there's bigger things to get mad about than people trying to show some devotion in their faith. Anyway, so let's have a little bit of history, because it wouldn't be my video if it wasn't something historical included. So the first mention of the sign of the cross comes from Tertullian. Anyway, he says in 250 AD, he's writing about how common this is. So even though it's 200 years later from the start of the church, he's writing about something that's obviously been happening throughout his life and before him. So this is a fairly ancient practice by any stretch. And he says, in all our travels and movements, in all our comings in and going out, in putting on our shoes at the bath, at the table, in lighting our candles, in lying down, in sitting down, whatever employment and comfort occupies us, we mark our foreheads with the sign of the cross. So here we can see that the sign of the cross started as a bit more subtle, really, just a little mark on the forehead. Even about 100 years later, also Cyril of Jerusalem also talks about it. And he says, let us not then be ashamed to confess the crucified. Be the cross our seal, made with boldness by our fingers on our brow and in everything. Over the bread we eat and the cups we drink, in our comings in and goings out, before our sleep, when we lie down, when we awake, when we are travelling, when we are at rest. So you can see it sounds similar to what Tertullian says. And the practice obviously continued. As around the 400s is when it becomes a bit more involved with the way you hold the fingers, similar to Trinity, all the way to the chest and the shoulders. But yeah, a nice simple way that I always like to do is just a little forehead cross whenever I'm about to eat or sleep or anything. So maybe you can incorporate that into your own prayer life. And don't be like Greg Locke.